Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this.
Shalom and blessings, family. I'm sitting up here talking, and I'm like, man, nobody's responding. It's because my mic wasn't in. But I wanted to share some things real quick because I didn't get a chance to really join the conversation yesterday concerning if or not we can be eating chicken, right? But before I do that, I just wanted to say, make sure you guys tune in to Kingdom Conversation today at 6 with the brother Cleo. It's going to be on there. So make sure you guys welcome the brother back after this a little bit of a stint. He was out, and our prayers are with him. But glad to see the brother's going to be coming on Kingdom Conversation today. But I didn't get a chance to really join the conversation concerning whether or not one can eat chicken or not. And what I would like to do is I would just like to give my quick perspective on things concerning the chapter when it speaks about what foods we can eat concerning the fowls, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up Leviticus real quick, and I'm just going to show a couple of different things and give my perspective on it. Right now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to share my screen with you real quick, and I'm going to just go through Leviticus dietary laws concerning that real quick with you, brothers and sisters. And I'm going to share my screen real quick. Here we go. Right now, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share my scriptures or my eSword. Now, this is my eSword right here. And I want to magnify this so that you guys can see it a little bit more. Now, so I'll start from Leviticus 11 and 13. And it says, oh man, how did I do that? All right, so it says, in these, let me put it so highlight it so you can see it. It says, and these are they which ye shall have an abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. The eagle and the ostrich and the osprey, right? Next verse. And the vulture and the kite after his kind. And every raven after his kind. And the owl and the nighthawk and the cacao and the hawk after his kind. And the little owl and the cormorant and the great owl and the swan and the pelican and the gier eagle and the stork and the heron after her kind, and the lapwing and the bat. All right, now it says all fowls that creep going upon all fours shall be an abomination unto you. Now, what I mentioned on the Facebook post is that the fowls that creep going upon all fours is actually speaking about bats and how can I say, bats and like flying squirrels. And then someone mentioned like, oh, a bat is not a fowl. And I said, yeah, I understand that. I understand that bats are not fowls. But if you look over here, they label bats as a fowl within this category. Why? I don't know. Right? Now, here's what I did. Because they're labeling bats as a foul, maybe the classification is a little bit off. So I looked to see what the Brenton might say, or the Septuagint, right? And this is what the Septuagint says in that verse. It says, in the heron and the lapwing and the like to it, and the hoopoe and the bat. And it says, and all winged creatures that creep, which go upon 4 feet, are abomination to you. All right. So the King James Version labels these as fowls, but the Septuagint puts them as simply winged creatures. All right. Now we know there are birds that have 4 toes. We know that birds have 3 toes. The quail and the chicken have the same type of structural feet. They have 3 toes in the front, and their hind toe is basically useless. They can't use it to perch on branches or anything because they are ground fowls. They run upon the earth. All right. And this is something common you would see with ground fowls that live on the earth. They don't use any toes to grip the branches that other birds would use. Now, just to take a look at something. All right. Go upon all 4s that creepeth. Right. This is what it means to creep. All right. Take a look at this. It says to creep. Move slowly and carefully in order to avoid being heard or noticed. All right. Creep. That's what it means. Similar to crawl. All right. Move on all 4s. All right. That's what the scripture says, that these animals that we cannot eat, which are winged animals, are animals that creep, which go upon 4 feet. All right. There's no bird that has 4 feet. Birds only have 2 feet and 2 wings. All right. Now, here's another example. Why do I say this is talking about bats? How does bats move? Yeah, we know they can fly, but how do they move upon the ground? This is how bats move upon the ground. They crawl on all 4 feet. And this is similar when you look up how do flying squirrels move upon the ground. They creep on all 4 feet. This can't be insects because it says 4 legs and 4 feet. Insects have 6 legs or more, right? If you want to go into arachnids and spiders, all right? So this is speaking about winged creatures, bats, squirrels, it's not talking about just simply birds. And as I showed you before, in the KJV, they classified a bat, right, as a fowl. They classified it within the same category as the heron, the stork, the swan, the pelican, the gier eagle, and then all of a sudden you see a bat here. Now, anybody that knows or understands what a fowl is today knows that a bat is not a fowl. But the reason why that's there, because it really was trying to mention not fowls, but winged creatures that creep, which go upon all 4 feet. All right. So in order to be an animal that creep, right, birds will have to have 4 feet. They have 2 feet and they have 2 wings. So this disqualifies all birds, but it gives you the specifics on what birds we are not to be eating. All right. So I mean, that's just my 2 cents in it. That's my 2 cents concerning whether or not, chicken is unclean or not. So I mean, a lot of times, this doctrine pops up in every now and then, man, where people saying we're not supposed to be eating chicken, and the scripture speaks about us eating hen eggs, the scripture speaks about these things. So I'm like, and after its kind. So just because a bird may be indigenous to this land, right? There's cattle that's indigenous to this land, and that's after the same kind of cattle that we might have ate in our land. So that doesn't disqualify them because of them being indigenous to another land. That's why the Most High gave specific attributes of these animals, so that if we see a cloven-footed animal in our land that cheweth the cud, and we see a cloven-footed animal in another land that cheweth the cud, that's the order of what we can eat. All right. So something being indigenous to this land doesn't disqualify it. Now, something being genetically modified, I mean, I would say it's because we don't have our own farms. You should strive to eat things that are organic, But as the brother was saying also in the other lesson, it's prophesied that we would eat our defiled bread in this land. So a lot of the things, whether you vegetarian or not, you may be eating things that you don't know how it's grown unless you grow it. And even if you do grow it, the seeds, a lot of the seeds are GMO also. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on the subject. I just wanted to make sure I share because I didn't have an opportunity to share my thoughts because I was at work when the brothers did the lesson. It was an excellent lesson, by the way, too. And I think it was really, really thought-provoking. But this is my stance on it. Hey, I'm eating fried chicken. I don't see anything that's compelling me not to do it until I see a scripture specifically saying, don't eat chicken, then, But I would say Pensacola, y'all bless. I would go back and listen to this, to my 2 cents, and listen to what the brothers laid out. And I think you should be able to draw a nice conclusion on what you should do from this point on. But with that being said, I want to say shalom and blessings to everyone. I hope everybody has a great evening. I got to get back to work. I was on my lunch break, but it's always a blessing to be able to share with you, brothers and sisters. Again, look out for the brother Cleo's Kingdom Conversation coming up in about an hour and 10 minutes. Welcome the brother back. Be there for the brother, fellowship with the brother. I'll be listening in. With all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High. As I said before, walk in grace, walk in faith, and walk in obedience, Israel. Shalom and blessings.